Hey, what's going on, guys? Black Mamba here, starting a new series called All About. This will be all about a certain faction or all about a certain team to use in GAC. So, without further ado, my very first All About will be all about Separatist Droids. This doesn't have anything to do with the nuke gunray variation or a nuke team or what. This is just straight up Separatist Droids. So I'll start with some modding. Modding, you want to do health, everything on Grievous, health primary on the arrow with some speed secondaries, and potency if you can do it. Like this arrow has 5% potency, 12 speed, with some health benefits as well. Health primary with some speed, health primary with some speed, and this is the only one that you can kind of pick and choose based off what you have available in your mods. You can either go crit damage like I have or health primary, which a lot of people have as well. So either one works, just depends on what you have in your mod inventory. B1, you want speed and potency like I have here. I have not succeeded this because it doesn't have offense in the secondaries. I'm still researching or finding a better mod that has higher speed and more, or just has offense in the secondary stat. But you want as fast as you can get him with as high as potency as you can get him with some good offense. So I have mine at plus 127 with plus 55% potency, which brings him to 127% with some good offense as well. That's kind of how you want to mod B1. Droidica, you want 0 speed. That's kind of the main goal. The reason for this is he gets more charges the slower he gets, and he also gains bonus TM when another enemy takes a turn. So you want him to have higher stacks when he gets a chart or when he gets a turn, and he can just annihilate people with his big one-hit wonder. For modding purposes, as you can see, I do have 5 offense, but that is because I don't have a 0 speed offense secondary stat with the primary mods I'm wanting. But optimal stat or optimal mods are 4 offense and 2 of something, whether that be 4 offense, 2 crit chance, 4 offense, 2 health, 2 tenacity, 2 whatever. But 4 offense is huge. As for primary stat purposes, you want offense primary stat here with some good secondary offense. You want offense primary stat here, and you want offense primary stat here. As you can see, there is no secondary speed in any of these. That's the main goal for any of these mods, as I previously explained why. B2, you want either 4 tenacity and 2 potency, or 4 potency and 2 tenacity. Whatever way your mods work, the only thing you gotta aim for is over 100% both potency and tenacity. In my opinion, I think tenacity is more important than potency. I mean, don't get me wrong, potency is huge on him. For those of you who know the kit, it's pretty obvious why it's important. But tenacity is also huge because when you're going against this guy on defense, you're going to want to kill him first, because when you get him out, he can't apply his debuffs, which is a big TM train for the Grievous team. So if you can mod him for some good tenacity and protection, he survives longer, he won't get dazed, won't get stunned, ability blocked, and more. So for modding, speed's not a huge factor on him because he just gains so much bonus TM from his passives. So protection on the primary stat for the arrow, protection on the primary stat for the triangle. Again, depends on your modding and the 4 and 2 ratio. You want either potency or tenacity on this primary stat, and then protection on the circle. So overall, you want him to be pretty tanky. As you can see, mine's decently tanky. Of course, speed doesn't matter like I previously illustrated. Magna Guard, just pure tank. Again, this is also a character that does not rely on speed. Of course, any speed is welcome, but the main thing is he counters, which then gives him taunt. His old kit, you needed a little bit more speed because he needed to take a turn for a taunt, but now he does not need to do so. So I have him modded for pretty close to 200k health and protection combined, with some good tenacity as well. Tenacity is also a good option for him because if he can resist a shock, daze, stun, buff immunity, etc., he can keep taunting and keep the rest of his team alive. As for counter situations, this team does not do all that well versus Darth Revan. It can beat a Gear 12 and below Darth Revan team, but once that Gear 13 hits into the situation, it does not look all that pretty. It does work. I have had a Grand Arena opponent lose on offense with his Darth Revan against my Grievous droids. He just didn't use Malak. He used Malak on a different team, I think it's Palp team, and then used the normal Sith Empire without Malak, and he actually lost. So it does work, and this guy had like relics and stuff. So it does work, but it's not all that efficient. It does struggle versus G Money, which is no duh. G Money's a crazy character. Even at 5 stars, Gear 11, 4 Zeta, it's not all that pretty, so it's not going to be great at all once it's 7-star Gear 13. And then Night Sisters give it a pretty hard time too. The Plague sticks to B1 and it kind of just sucks. And then Stonemocks don't help the team if you get bad RNG. Other than those 3 teams, this team pretty much destroys everything on offense. And I mean absolutely obliterates. As you might have seen in a previous video of mine on my YouTube channel, you can auto Jedi Knight Revan in 30 seconds. Whether it has Jolie or not, you press auto. I mean, this is, full disclaimer, this is my Separatist droids with my relics. Yours might be a different story, but this will auto almost any Jedi Knight Revan team that there is that I've come across in my experience. I have not tested this for Shakti clones. I would love to test that, whether it has Jedi Knight Anakin or not. I have not gone up against it yet, so maybe in arena battle I'll ask somebody to do it. But if anybody has that experience, please let me know down in the description or ping me in Discord. As for Grand Arena, defensive or offensive, I would highly recommend defensive, and the reason for this is, in my personal opinion, they are the best defensive team in the game. I mean, G Money, once relic and stuff, is probably better, and then Darth Revan has a chance to be better, but people have so many counters against Darth Revan. There's so much RNG dependence against this team. You can't predict everything that's going to happen with a Grievous droid team. It does a ton of AoE. Grievous takes people out before he dies. He's the last person to die, and he just likes to take people with him underneath water. And they just do a lot of damage and surprise you. So just defensive would be my suggestion for the previous reasons. For raid purposes, Phase 1 is what I would recommend. Phase 2, they can do pretty decent, but other teams do better than droids in Phase 2. But Phase 1, I have done 10.7 mil damage in Phase 1. I do have a screenshot of that, but I do not have a video. I should have recorded it, but I did not. I did record an 8.8 mil run in Phase 1. If you want me to do commentary on that, I can. Please let me know if you need some pointers on the Phase 1 Grievous team. For TB, they're absolutely phenomenal. All 4 phases throughout the whole week, they can auto every single combat mission. I'm talking every single one. The only time they struggle is during Phase 4 on the 4th wave. I have to manually do it if I run into Shakti or Padme and Padawan Anakin. Other than that, they auto every single combat mission in the first 3 phases and almost all in Phase 4. Again, that's with my droids. I'm not going to tell you to do that with yours. Yours could be a different story. So please don't try to press auto and lose and blame me for telling you it's possible. Relic order and gear order. Obviously, if you're starting from scratch, I would gear Grievous first, and then B2. then Magna Guard, and then Droidica, and then B1. That would be my order for gear-wise to Gear 12 and then Gear 13. The reason for this is that B1 with a Zeta at 4 stars is actually viable. It's not obviously optimal, but it does work if you have him 4 stars with the Zeta. The Zeta is huge. It just doubles his survivability from 50 secs to 100. If you got them all to relics at the same exact time, my relic order would be Grievous, obviously to relic 7. I'm hoping everybody who has one relic 7, it's either Grievous or Jedi Anakin. Those are the best 2 in the game. From my perspective, I mean, I'm sure G Money is up there too, but not very many have him there. The second one I would relic is B1. The reason for this is he assists on every single attack, as well as he helps with the G Money event. My third one would be B2, and that is because you want him to survive longer, and B2 gets, gets the armor, health steal, and protection bonus with his relic. So having him reliced up would be helpful. And then I would relic a Droidica 4th, as he does so much damage with his relic. He gets armor pen and damage. So that would be my 4th. And then my 5th would be Magna Guard. That'd be my relic order. A Zeta order, I would do, if you had no Zetas on all of them, I would do Grievous Unique first, then B1, then B2, then Grievous Lead, and then Droidica. Droidica is the only Zeta that is not mandatory, although at this point in the game, most people, if not a good chunk of people, have the Zeta, and because people have the Zeta is from G Money. Most people who unlocked G Money needed to put the Zeta on him. I'm not saying all did, but a lot of people did, and that's because the assist is quite huge in that event. The event, I've heard, is very RNG dependent, and so the Zeta helps. And also, in my personal opinion, the Zeta is very underrated. It's just, it's such a great Zeta. It'll assist. It gets you dodge chances. Trust me, it's an amazing Zeta in my opinion, and that is why I got it. My journey with droids have been quite awesome. I started farming them back in February, right when they were announced. I went full out and have had them Gear 12 and Gear 13 before, I think, even my Darth Revan team. They're my favorite team in the game. They're not, Separatists are not my favorite faction. Sith are my favorite faction. But the Grievous and the droids are my favorite team. Droidica is my favorite toon or character in the game, and favorite character in lore, next to Darth Maul. But in Grand Arena, they have gotten me the most defenses total over any other team that I have on my roster. They pretty much average, 4 to 5 per, even more than that, almost 10 defenses per week. Because sometimes I get 5 versus an opponent, sometimes I get 7 versus an opponent. Sometimes they get one shot, but that means Darth Revan probably beat them, or a very good Jedi Knight Revan team. But overall, they just have so many defenses, and I would highly suggest you guys farm them up for Grand Arena purposes and put them on your defense. And don't just put them in the front wall, because people will be able to play around it. Kind of hide them in the back if you can, and surprise them. And if you have the opportunity, place a team right in front of it that is a counter to Grievous, so they use that counter before they open up a Grievous zone. That'd be my recommendation. That's what I try to do as well. But please let me know if you have any questions on this Grievous Separatist Droid team. I'm always available to answer anything about them with Discord or YouTube. Just comment down in the description or ping me in Discord. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.